Have you ever noticed this kind of person in school or even in your friend group? You know, the one everyone goes to when something is wrong. Like when someone is upset, they call that person. When two friends fight, they ask that person to calm things down. And that person somehow always knows what to say. They're understanding, they're calm, they're emotionally mature. But have you noticed something strange? When they are not okay, almost nobody notices. And sometimes when you look closer, you realize something. This personality didn't just appear randomly. It usually started much earlier, inside the family. In many families, there's often one child who becomes what psychologists sometimes call the easy child. You know the one, or you may be the one. The child who doesn't argue much, the one who just understands things. Maybe you've heard parents say things like, "She's the mature one." He understands everything. We don't have to worry about this one. And it sounds like a compliment, but for a child, it slowly becomes a role. Because when a child sees that being calm, adjusting, and not creating problems makes the house feel more peaceful, they naturally start doing more of it, not consciously, just quietly. And sometimes something else is happening in the background too. Not always, but often. Another child in the family might need more attention. Maybe they're more emotional, maybe they argue more, maybe they struggle more. So the family's energy naturally moves toward that child, which leaves the easy child thinking something like, "It's okay, I'll handle myself." And that's where something very subtle begins. The child slowly learns how to manage their own emotions alone. Now take that same child and place them in a classroom. Have you ever been in a class where the teacher asks a question? A few students raise their hands confidently, but there's always one student sitting quietly, and you kind of feel like they probably know the answer too, but they don't raise their hand. You know that moment? For a second, they almost do it. Then they stop. Sometimes psychology calls these moments self-silencing. It's when someone has a thought, a question, or even the right answer, but something inside them says, maybe it's better not to take up space. And for many people who grew up as the easy child, that feeling is very familiar, because growing up, they were often the ones trying to keep things balanced at home. So without realizing it, they become really good at reading people. They notice tension quickly. They sense when someone is upset. They adjust their behavior so things stay smooth. And these skills actually follow them everywhere. You can see it in friendships too. Easy children often become the listener of the group. You know that friend who everyone vents to? The one who gives really thoughtful advice? The one who says, "It's okay, we can do whatever you guys want." That person often grew up learning how to make other people comfortable. And at first, this makes them very likable. People trust them. People open up to them. But slowly, something interesting starts happening. They become emotionally available to everyone. But very few people learn to ask them, "Hey, are you okay?" And here's where the conversation can get a little uncomfortable. Because sometimes, without meaning to, families reward the easy child for being convenient, not necessarily for being fully seen. Think about it, when one child reacts loudly, cries, argues, the whole house notices. But the easy child, they manage their emotions quietly, so everyone assumes they're fine, and over time the child learns something powerful. If I stay easy, everything stays peaceful. Fast forward into adulthood, that easy child grows up. They become the reliable friend, the supportive colleague, the partner who tries to keep everything stable. And from the outside, they seem incredibly strong. But inside, many of them are still following the same quiet rule they learned years ago. Don't inconvenience people. So they hesitate to express disagreement. They stay silent in situations where they deserve to speak. And sometimes they carry emotional struggles alone, not because they want to, but because asking for support never became a habit. And here's something many easy children realize much later in life. They're really good at understanding others. But sometimes they struggle with a simple question. What do I actually want? Because growing up, their attention was mostly focused on everyone else. Now, this conversation isn't about blaming parents. Family roles usually form without anyone realizing it. Parents are simply trying to handle everyday life. But understanding these patterns can help us see something important. Children shouldn't feel loved only when they are easy to handle. They should feel safe being confused, being emotional, even being difficult sometimes, because those are normal parts of growing up.